Clone Wars Season 1. So now that I'm in Star Wars mood, I'm going to be talking about Clone Wars seasons every month. And when I'm done with Clone Wars, then I'll do the Bad Batch seasons, and then we'll do Star Wars Rebels. And I will eventually re-review all the Star Wars movies, and I'm going to also re-review all the Mandalorian seasons and lead up to the new Mandalorian movie. I think that's something I just want to do. I did really bad Star Wars reviews like years ago on my old channel, and it's time I do that. But until then, you are going to get Clone Wars reviews of each season, each month. I am not going to review the Clone Wars movie, and that is because there's no point in me doing that. Clone Wars movie, if you don't know, was not a movie. It was George Lucas coming in, seeing episodes of a TV show, and said, let's put that in theaters. And it wasn't very good. And now, if you watch it as an introduction piece to the show, it's much better, works a whole lot better, right? That is why the show, that's why I'm kind of not reviewing it, because it's really just part of season 1. So, it would be me hating on a movie that doesn't really need to be hated on because George Lucas made a dumb decision. You know, that being said, I love Clone Wars the show, but rewatching this season was a little rough. Because there's some good episodes in here. I like the arc with Yoda and the clone troopers. There's one where they're investigating a clone trooper went rogue. That's really good. That storyline shows one of the highlights of the show is that in the Clone Wars era of Star Wars, like Attack of the Clones, like, other prequel stuff, the clones were not characters. They were just NPCs, like video game characters. And, considering they were the architect for what the stormtroopers would be, it kind of was understandable to some regard, but this show really expands them, gives them all personalities, shows that they fight like brothers, and they have wants, they have desires, they have feelings, and they explore a lot of that, and that's one of the great arcs. But the thing is, a lot of this show so far has a lot of weaker arcs. There's one with Jar Jar that's not very fun. The animation is still not great in finding its groove, and rewatching it like almost 20 years since the show appeared. This show came out in like 2008 or whatever. The animation is definitely starting to show its age a lot more than it used to. That doesn't mean it's horrible now, but it does mean like, yikes. Where, some of the later seasons, the animation's gorgeous in the show. But, even season 2, you start watching it and it starts to look a little bit better. Which I've already started some of season 2. That's why I mentioned that. So, I don't know, it's really good stuff in there. But there's a lot of jankiness, not some well-written arcs. And... yeah, not one of my favorite seasons of the show.